leofinance.io, you will see that the rebrand is in place. But I think that at one point, how it's we are going to migrate to the new website, right?
Yeah. So the first step was to get the new UI, the latest release of the UI out, which includes obviously what you guys are seeing, the new brand and the new site identity, the new logo, the new colors, everything like that. So that's really step one. Step two is that the domain is going to start to redirect you. And things with domains tend to take a few hours. So I would say probably, over the next like 12 to 24 hours, you even see this on the x.com and twitter.com, domain update. Like you still kind of see it, like sometimes you're on twitter.com, sometimes you're on x.com. So when it comes to updating domains, it kind of takes a little bit more time, especially with, cached versions of the UI. But yeah, I mean, by the end of today, expect to be able to go to the new domain name, and then also start to expect over the next, day, 2 days, 3 days, that when you start going to, especially if you have like bookmarks and stuff, if you're going to leofinance.io, it's going to start to redirect you to INLEO.io, which is the new domain name. So yeah, expect that over the next few hours and few days to kind of start to take hold. But regardless, I mean, anytime you go to leofinance.io, you're going to be going to the right place because it'll redirect you as that kind of rolls out.
Yeah, definitely. And for those in the audience, guys, I see your requests. Please don't drop them. In a few minutes, we'll start putting up people into the speaker panel, so you can ask your questions live. Taskmaster. Oh wait, John J. Olson. If you want to join as a speaker, please come up. We want your marketing background takes. But Taskmaster, I see that you are part of the speaker panel. What is the verdict? Because I know that you are very raw and very direct. What do you think of INLEO? 100%, and that's exactly what the main idea was. We wanted to keep the sense of belonging, and these 4 years have been all about Leo and the brand identity, and people actually um, identifying and having a sense of belonging with the Leo and the Lion Pride and the Leo token, etc. So Carl was very clear about this. I want to keep something like I want to keep it Lion related, and that's why we came up with Rarely. And yes, that was the first piece of feedback that we got. That Rarely, I mean, it's unique, but at the same time, how in the hell are people going to know how to write it? And how to share it with other people, especially people who are not native English speakers. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah, I agree. It looks dark mode. Dark mode really does the orange justice.
And we have a question with from. Okay, I was actually going to mention we are running a threadcast, which is basically a Twitch live chat where people can share their own opinions on what's happening on any show. I'm going to pin the link to the threadcast in the tweet, in the main spaces tweet, so people can actually engage, earn some tokens in the process, and see how the new platform is. And I have a question from Bitcoin Flood. I think it's Bitcoin Flood. I think I missed it. But is INLEO orange or red, Carl?
Yeah, it's kind of like a deep orange, kind of like a reddish orange, which I really like. And like the previous comment was saying, it really pops in dark mode. And you really want something. We went back and forth on a bunch of different colors, like a whole color palette. You want something that pops, both in light mode and dark mode. I would say most tech people tend to prefer dark mode. But that being said, it's not everyone loves dark mode, and people have different preferences. Like, for me, I prefer light mode during the day, and dark mode at night. And so when it comes to color schemes, you have to be kind of particular about picking something that can look good, in both types of colors. And one of the new features that's going to get released pretty soon is going to be themes. So when you've got themes, you need something that's pretty neutral but still pops and can look good on many different color backgrounds. So like you can see my background if you're watching the live stream video. You can see my background is like yellow and then the orange logo on top. So you need something that can look good with a lot of different color palettes. But yeah, it's kind of like a reddish orange, but it is technically an orange. It's in the orange family. So, kind of keeps with a similar color scheme as Leo Finance, which was yellow and orange.
Yeah, and Tokenized Society, oh no, Bitcoin Flood as well. He's asking when INLEO ads, and I would say that we can actually change that and say it's ads in Leo, right? But that's one of the main questions, Carl, that people have right now. We have an advertisement protocol, for those who don't know, that from the traffic generated and the clicks in the platform, we generate, as a platform, we generate some ad revenue, and that ad revenue has many use cases within the platform. So when is the Leo ads? Well, no. When is the ads in Leo protocol going live?
Yeah, so we're gearing up to announce the exact date. Let's slate that, since we've got so much to announce and talk about today with the rebrand. Let's slate that for tomorrow's AMA. So tomorrow's AMA, we're going to announce the full launch of LeoAds with the exact date for the smart contract. which we've been planning for a long time, but obviously we need to do, there's a process to all this stuff. So get the rebrand done, get the evergreen rewards protocol added to the contract, which I think you guys are going to be excited about in terms of, being able to earn on your long form content forever. And, so obviously on the back end, getting that evergreens protocol was key, and it is almost done, which is why, and you'll see what date we scheduled for it. So you'll see that soon. And then tomorrow we'll announce the exact date. So now that we got the rebrand out, we can start moving forward on a lot of that other stuff.
Yes. So, John J. Olson, do you have anything to add to the conversation? Yes, all good.
Yep. Thanks, John. Yeah. Very soon on that. Very soon on that.
And yeah, so we have Homesteader from Hive, Aloha Ed, on Hive. Hey man, do you want to add something to the conversation, or ask a question?
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, that's a big thing for us with this rebrand is, and Tass kind of touched on it a little as well. Making Leo more accessible to a much wider audience. So, when you look at, and John mentioned the actual icon, the logo of it, kind of looking like a transformer. It's all a little bit more normie friendly, if you want to use that word, or just more. It's a lot more accessible in terms of not so like siloed as, Leo Finance, and then the logo was very complex. So, whether you take it down to and that's what we did in the design phase, take it down to the actual icon itself or the name, or even the text and the colors, it's all meant to make it more simplistic, more accessible, and more clean. So I'm really happy with how everything turned out.
100%, and I think that this actually brings up the main reason why Leo Finance is now in Leo. Princess Busayo on the Threadcast, her comment already made 38 cents. She's asking, does it mean that the rebrand? Well, with the rebrand, does it mean that INLEO will accept all kinds of content and not just finance crypto related content? Cal, I think this is something that we are not going to have to deal with anymore, because even though people can post about anything on Leo Finance, maybe it hasn't been so clear, or maybe the message hasn't been spread well enough, because people can actually post about anything, long form content, short form content from Leo Finance. But now that we are in Leo, I think this perception is going to change.
Yeah, I agree. I think the perception around, does Leo curate non-finance content? Am I even allowed to post non-finance content on Leo, or I guess in Leo, is not a question that people are going to have to ask anymore. I assume that kind of in this transitional period over the next few weeks and stuff, we're still going to kind of see that. Just from people who are so accustomed to the Leo Finance brand. But, obviously now anything's allowed, anything is curated. The brand has opened up from finance to everything, especially with our, everything app vision. So this change is definitely going to bring some clarity to people who were kind of on the fence about whether or not they should post on or in Leo, or if they would get curated in Leo. So, I hope that kind of clears it up for them. And then also, I think the very important part is for anyone that's new, you don't come to this brand and you're like, oh, finance, I'm not really into finance, I'm going to leave. So this clears it up for all the new people that are coming in. And then it also kind of has that element for all the existing, Hive user base.
Yeah, and John Timms is asking on the Threadcast if the leofinance.io is going to change in the website. Yes, we just mentioned this, that it's going to be, I don't know the word, it's going to be no, it's not cyclical, like slow, because it takes a little bit more time to get up in leo.io and actually redirect from Leo Finance to INLEO. But Uyobong has an amazing take. Everything is accepted in Leo. Finance in Leo, food in Leo, photography in Leo. Hive users can build any dApp in Leo. So yes, we are already seeing a lot of wordplays with the new brand. I'm pretty happy that people actually like it, because that was one of the things that we were worried. Oh, would people like it? Would people think it's this or that? But I think it's pretty good. The community has actually received the new brand pretty positively.
Yeah, I agree. I think I haven't really seen any negative takes on it. I'm seeing a lot of positive feedback that people like, everything from the logo colors to the logo to the name. So that's definitely what we like to see. It's hard to change a name, and you're never going to please everybody, but it's always hard to change a name of something that people are accustomed to. So, we've obviously had this Leo Finance brand for about 3 years now. So, we actually coming up on 4, I think. It would have been 4 years, like 4 to 6 months from now. Because we rebranded from Steam Leo to Leo Finance back in 2020. So, you guys have grown very accustomed to the name. So it's hard to change something that you guys are accustomed to, that you like, and you're familiar with. And we kind of saw that with X and Twitter, is that, when the name changed, there were a lot of people that were unhappy with it. there were a lot of people that were happy with it. So you can never please everyone. But you know what I like to see is that you guys tend to like it, and I haven't really seen any negative feedback. So definitely calming the big worry that we had that we were picking something that nobody was going to like, which I think we were kind of headed down that path when it was Roarly. You know, all the feedback I got was pretty much negative. So I'm glad we changed direction.
100%. And I see Kingsley is in the speaker panel, but he's connecting. Just make sure to raise your hand, man, and we'll hand over the mic to you. But Kyle, let's go a little bit in depth into what INLEO is for those who are listening right now or who will tune in the future. It all revolves around digital identities. SocialFi is a current narrative. It's getting a lot of hype. It's getting a lot of new users. We are definitely going to make an effort to put INLEO into the conversation with the big players right now. And our value proposition, besides having everything on chain, is also that people can create their brand in INLEO and they can have their own digital identity. They can own their own content, their account. Why is this the main approach to this new brand, to INLEO?
Sorry, you cut out at the end. You mind repeating just the last part?
Yeah, just that. Do you want to tell the audience why is the digital identity and the concept of having a digital oasis in INLEO, and why is this so important for the SocialFi narrative?
Yeah, you know, we saw, you know, with you know, all these different SocialFi projects that kind of recently popped up. You got Friend Tech, and then you know, Stars Arena that kind of popped up and exploded on the scene. There does seem to be this kind of SocialFi narrative to the new bull market that's kind of emerging. And we kind of saw it at the end of the last bull market too. There were a lot of projects that were starting to kind of tap on the doors of SocialFi. And you know, in my opinion, what SocialFi is essentially just social media with a finance aspect to it. And that can be, you know, all sorts of forms. It can be, you know, for platforms like the ones I just mentioned, it's, you know, you can buy tickets and get, you know, exclusive access to influencers. For a platform like Leo, it's, you know, you can own Leo and curate, and you can upvote people, and you can earn Leo, you know, by posting in Leo. And then, you know, for a platform like X, even they're kind of moving towards SocialFi as well, where, you know, they've got various, you know, financial elements that they're going to start implementing, or at least that's, you know, what Elon talks about, is, you know, wanting to add payments and stuff like that, tipping. So we're kind of seeing this whole space emerge, and I think there's going to be a lot of different players that do different things. So like I said, you know, I basically just gave you 3 different models of SocialFi. But I think with the rebrand, you know, a key for us entering SocialFi is that when you look at a lot of these other platforms, they're very accessible, very, you know, simple to understand. Everyone's kind of chasing after the same type of UI, which is very much like X. And I think that's just going to kind of keep happening. So one thing we're doing with INLEO is, you know, we're making the UI really accessible, but as you keep using it, you kind of peel back the layers. That's the entire idea, is that, yeah, you come here and it looks like X, it looks like all these other platforms, but then the more you use it, the more you realize that there's other stuff here behind the scenes. And there's a lot more features once you kind of dig them up. You know, I think we're kind of getting to this point of being, you know, we're getting to this feature rich point where we've got more features even than platforms like X, in terms of, you know, long form communities. And then obviously we've got the blockchain to back everything up, in terms of the back end and making things immutable. So I think we're on a really good trajectory here. We were holding back a lot of stuff, in my opinion, for the rebrand. We've been working on the rebrand for so long now. and we were holding back some of like the key features that we're gonna launch under the rebrand. I think the rebrand brings like a big opportunity for us to step into the limelight of the space. So you saw stuff like Stars Arena just kind of pop up out of nowhere and really take hold of the narrative. I think with the INLEO branding, we're kind of positioning ourselves to do the same.
And that is one of the main objectives of the new brand, to actually start making noise. For those who have been with us for a while now, you know that Leo Finance hasn't really done a lot of marketing. Why? Because we wanted to have a flawless UI. We still have a little bit of bugs. We're still in alpha. We are not even in beta right now. So people are asking, if it's okay to use INLEO.io to share their own threads and posts. Actually, Mr. Hive 001, he just mentioned that he just published a thread using INLEO instead of Leo Finance, and this is quite a whole new level activated. So yes, to answer that question, yes, you can use INLEO.io, but expect bugs because we are not fully done with the migration or with the transition. And Cal, do you want to tell our loyal Lions what are the plans for marketing in the next 2 weeks? We have a few influencers aligned, but what else do we have in store?
Yeah, this next throughout October, the next 3 weeks is going to be really wild. We've got a bunch of influencers lined up, like you were saying, and then in addition to that, we've got the referral system is going to get a huge update. So you guys have already seen that you can go to your settings page and you can copy your referral link. Obviously, that's going to change to the new domain soon, but you'll be able to share your referral link and then earn rewards as you share it out. So that's going to be huge. I think that's been something that people have asked for years, is a really solid referral system. And we've been talking behind the scenes about what we're doing, and then obviously designing and developing it. I think it's going to have a huge impact on the shareability of INLEO and getting people into the UI and signed up. And apart from that, I think we talked about this at HiveFest and in a lot of different places, that I think the cornerstone of good marketing for us is going to be centered around threadcasts and getting influencers who are very active on X Spaces. I think there's a huge opportunity for us because X Spaces have exploded recently, and they're only on a trajectory to increase. So in terms of viewership and activity. So, Eric and I have been spending a lot of time in different X Spaces. I know Eric's like, 20 hours a day, basically in different X Spaces and talking to influencers and not just talking to them, behind the scenes, but actually getting into their spaces and making a name for himself, so that when he approaches them to do a partnership with us, it's not coming from a stranger, it's coming from someone they've talked to before in an X Space. So I think, the referral system is going to have a huge impact, but I think the big impact for us marketing wise is really getting the influencers that do these X Spaces regularly to do threadcasts. And we've been making a lot of updates to the threadcast protocol, and you guys can see it because you guys are using it right now. It's super smooth, super fast, really intuitive, and it's only going to keep getting better. And we're going to integrate the X Spaces embedding and stuff like that. So I really think threadcasts are gonna be one of the main things that takes us from the current 1,600 monthly active users to 16,000.
And what you mentioned is pretty important, and it's something that we really want the community to know. As we don't have any secret alpha. Every week there's an AMA with Cal and Security Cat Guide where they share everything that's coming to INLEO, to our ecosystem. One thing that we're doing is that all of the influencers that will eventually be part of our marketing efforts will be they will be part of the ecosystem. They will not just be someone who we just paid to do a shell or to do a space or to talk about INLEO. Our focus has been and will be and it will always be to introduce the platform to people, to voices of opinion, and before even speaking or talking about any kind of collaboration, we want these people to like the platform, to see the potential, to understand the tokenomics, and to actually get involved with the platform before even doing a spaces with us or hosting a spaces with one of us as a guest, etc. So make no mistake, or be sure that our marketing efforts are aligned with our foundations, and they will always be. Nifty, I see that you're here. You haven't raised a hand, but I'm just gonna hand over the mic to you. Or maybe not. I don't know if you're available, but yes. Yes, loud and clear.
I think, you know, like this whole brand direction, I think is really positive for us in terms of just in a lot of different ways, but in terms of just a refresh, you know, we've entered a much different era in terms of blockchain, in terms of social media, even, you know, as a whole. Eric, what are you most excited about in terms of marketing this month? You know, you're spearheading, you know, the vast majority of the initiatives, especially with influencers. So what's your, you know, what's your finger on the pulse, you know, idea of what's about to happen?
Yeah. So one of the, I think the first thing that I like yesterday, I couldn't sleep. Like I think it's been like 20 years, maybe since junior high, that I wasn't able to sleep. You know how when something big is happening, the next day you can't really sleep. It's been 20 years since that happened to me, and yesterday I couldn't sleep. I was thinking a lot of stuff. I was trying to be able to be rested for today, and I obviously wasn't able to. But that being said, I'm really excited to see how many people actually believe in Leo from crypto Twitter, because so far we've had a conversation with around 15 influencers. The general norm, 14 out of 15, told me, wow, this is amazing. I really like the idea of this. I want to learn more. Please share with me your light paper or your white paper. Share with me slides, a pitch deck. Tell me more. People actually want to learn more. Why? Because I think we did the perfect process of having a robust UI before actually trying to outreach to other people, before we actually wanted to do some marketing. So now we have probably, and I say probably because I don't want to sound cocky, but we have probably the best UI for social fi, the best tokenomics, the best interface, and people will love it. We are already seeing this happen with the influencers. Most of them, 95% of them, want to get involved. They want to learn more. So what I'm most excited about all of this is that the next month is going to be huge. I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't think that we even want to be a hype-based platform where we get 100,000 users by Friday. It could happen, but what I'm most excited about is to see how many people come here and they actually love the platform. They just don't come here because of the degen side of them or because they want to make money, but because the platform is actually pretty kick-ass. We have the best platform out there for social fi. So yeah, it's going to be a fun month.
Yeah, 100%. I think I think with the rebrand live, with the new features that we've rolled out recently, and new ones that are about to roll out, like in the past week we rolled out For You, the For You algorithmic feed, and we keep making updates to it, and there's a lot more that we're going to update in the next coming days and weeks and months as we kind of refine that. The user experience has really gotten amazing. And squashing all the bugs has been obviously a main priority, but while we do that, we're still working on new features to roll out. So I think when you guys see what's in store for this month, and then obviously tomorrow we're going to announce the Leo ad stuff, which I know is kind of like the big elephant in the room question every time we do a live stream. That's what everyone's asking about. So all of this stuff kind of adding up to the vision for Leo kind of taking its final shape as we move forward. And I've been working on this document, which I'm planning to release today, which is the vision for INLEO moving forward. Kind of like the take 1,000 steps back and look at everything. That'll get released probably later today. Where we'll talk about what the vision is and where we're headed from a very broad perspective in terms of the Leo token and in terms of the platform and growing to 10,000 users and 100,000 users and beyond.
Taskmaster, you're awfully quiet.
Yeah, thanks, Task. Yeah, I'm happy with it. You know, our runner-up name was task.com and it didn't make it. So sorry to let you down on that front.
Yeah, Nonso writes is asking in the threadcast, is there going to be any kind of ambassador programs within the Hive ecosystem? And Cal, do you want to tackle that one, or do you want me to?
Yeah, you know, I'll give the broader view, and then you can give the more tactical stuff about it. But you know, from a broad perspective, yeah, you know, and a lot of our ideas are about going outside of Hive and bringing people in. So you know, all of you guys are familiar with, you know, the DHF project that we've got, you know, to onboard the next, you know, 10,000 monthly active users to Hive, and then you know, so when you take that into account, you know, that's about bringing new people in. That being said, you know, there's still plenty of people on Hive that don't use INLEO, and you know, they didn't use Leo Finance for various reasons. You know, I think a lot of them have to do with finance. So I do think that this rebrand is going to take us to new heights in terms of internally in the Hive community, and then like I was saying earlier, you know, letting us be more accessible to the outside world, to you know, the X world, and you know, all these other social platforms that have popped up. You know, we're a much friendlier brand now, in my opinion, both inside and outside of Hive. So in terms of ambassador programs and you know, outreach to the Hive community, if you want to call it that, Eric, what do we got planned for the next, you know, 1, 2, 3 weeks and months to come?
Yeah, so regarding the ambassadors, right now we have, I think it's four or five of them. We haven't really implemented a real ambassador program. These guys, Bitcoin Flood, Leadmaster, Uyabong, Nylon, there are like 5 or 6, I think. But that being said, we want, now that we have the brand and now that we have the presence in social media, and now that we actually have the plans to start doing some outreach, and we have some budget for that, yes, Nonso, we are going to open up this level of involvement from Hive users that have a presence on X, on Instagram, on YouTube, and yeah, we are definitely going to push forward the outreach and the adoption of INLEO. I think I'm gonna have to find a way to say INLEO, Leo, like, yeah, it's gonna take a while to get used to, Cal.
Yeah, definitely. I catch myself sometimes, you know, wanting to say Leo Finance when I'm talking about the platform and the brand. So it is going to take a little bit of time. But you know, one thing I've been doing over the last couple of weeks is just saying, and you guys have probably noticed this even in, you know, blog posts and you know, announcements and stuff like that, is, you know, we haven't really been saying Leo Finance a whole lot lately. Even the last couple of months, we've been saying more just Leo, you know, like even in like the AMA titles, if you go back and look through them, it used to be, you know, live Leo Finance AMA. And more recently we were saying, you know, live Leo AMA. So, you know, we were kind of curbing the perception and getting ready for the branding to change. You know, and I like Taskmaster's points too, that like all the memes, all these sayings, all the, you know, branding and identity around Leo, you know, the amazing thing about this rebrand name is that we don't lose any of that. So, you know, we're not losing, you know, the lion memes. We're not losing the, you know, all the blog posts we've been making for years talking about the Leo token and everything like that. I think that's probably one of the most, you know, underrated parts of this brand, you know, rebranding is that we haven't really lost anything in terms of brand identity, but we've still managed to change the name to something that is, you know, accessible.
We still have Leo Power Up Day, which is actually in 5 days. Well, 5.5, 4.5. But yeah, so John, if you want to say something, Edwin, if you want to say something, just raise your hand so I can pass you the mic. If anyone from the audience wants to say something, just request to speak, please. This is an open forum for anyone to ask any questions related to the rebrand. If you have any questions related to the tokenomics, to the new features, whatever, we have an AMA every Tuesday at noon EST. So be ready for tomorrow to ask any technical questions. But that being said, Cal, I have to ask, what is going to happen to the old LeoFinance.io domain once we fully migrate Leo.io?
Yeah, it's a good question. So probably in perpetuity, but obviously anything can change. But at least, for the foreseeable future, it will redirect to INLEO.io. So, there's people that have been using LeoFinance.io for the last, 3-4 years, and, they have it bookmarked, they have it saved somewhere, and they may or may not be active today. But they may come back at some point. I'm sure in the bull market, a lot of people are going to come back. So, for the foreseeable future, it's going to just redirect you to INLEO.io. And if you guys saw, while we've been live, the new domain name is live now, and you can start using it. So it's INLEO.io is the new domain name. So probably over the next, and like I said, especially because of caching and other things, when it comes to changing DNS and domain name stuff, it does take time to kind of take effect. So, I'm sure some of you are going to start getting redirected sooner than others, stuff like that. So, the redirecting is going to start happening later today, where, when you go to leofinance.io, it's going to automatically change the domain name for you, to inleo.io. And you'll have to sign back in, by the way, just a, public service announcement, because the new UI doesn't recognize your login, from the old UI. So, other than that, nothing's really changing. But yeah, over the next, couple of hours and couple of days, you'll start to see the UI redirect you. But the leofinance.io UI is good. Our domain name is something that we're not getting rid of. We'll keep it forever. And at least for the foreseeable future, it will just redirect you to inleo.io. And then I actually, related to that, I saw iFarmGirl just asked, so labs UI will be labs.inleo.io. Yeah, so that will also get redirected. So right now it's still labs.leofinance.io, but that will soon redirect you to labs.inleo.io. And that will be the most recent, the cutting edge version of the UI, with all the latest features to test. And we're actually dropping, it might already be live. I haven't checked to make sure, but no, it's not live yet. Within the next couple of hours, it's going to be live. The newest update for the For You feed will be live on the Labs UI, which will it's called, we're calling it the Scene update, SEEN. And basically what it does is it remembers, the UI will now remember what you've seen, what your Hive account has seen in terms of threads. So it's actually really cool because it's cross device as well. We use your Hive account to do it. So let's say that you're on your mobile device and you're scrolling through your For You feed, and you scroll through it for like an hour, and then a couple hours later you go back to your desktop and you scroll through the For You feed again. The back end of the UI is going to remember which threads you've already seen in the For You, and it's not going to show them to you again, which is pretty awesome, especially that it's cross device. Just because I use Threads a lot on my mobile device and then on my desktop as well. So being able to kind of remember my spot, remember what I've seen and what I haven't is awesome. So speaking of the Labs UI, that is going to be up pretty soon, in the next couple of hours, and you'll be able to go to labs.inleo.io to test that out.
It's going to be a very busy month. Well, very, very busy quarter, I think. Edwin, are you connected on cell phone or on PC? Because I cannot see your hand, but I think that you want to add something.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, the entire idea of the platform, and this is our, the mission statement is, empowering creators and building a creator economy on top of Web3. To me, that's what SocialFi is all about. So, INLEO's mission is to build a sustainable creator economy and centered around, digital ownership, tokenization, and communities. And obviously with that, we need to have our own token in order to capture the value of the platform and allow, users, you guys, and, creators to own the platform. So, the Leo token essentially allows you to own the entire platform, own your content, and monetize yourself on the platform without some central entity, kind of telling you who can get rewarded, how much they can get rewarded. um, the Leo token brings in this decentralized aspect to upvoting each other, creating value, and then obviously distributing that value. So the Leo token works in kind of an interesting way, and like you were saying, to keep it non-technical. Basically, there's a rewards pool every day, and when you create content on the UI, other users can stumble on that content and then upvote you. And that rewards pool basically gets spread around to all the different users based on people that hold the Leo token in a form called Leo Power, which is staked Leo. So it allows, like I was saying, value capture, and it allows utility on the platform. So some of the big updates that are coming are things that let you use that Leo as a utility to do things like micropayments, subscribe to your favorite authors and stuff like that. So like I said, the entire value proposition of the token is that you own the platform, and to drive it to our broader mission statement, digital ownership is one piece of that, is that you own your content and you own your account and it can't be taken away from you. But another key piece of that is that you actually own the platform and the vetting. And that's the Leo token comes in, is that, that value part of the ownership. Yeah, that's a good question. So up until this point, actually, we allow both the Leo tag, so hashtag LEO, and then we also allow hashtag Leo Finance. So we're actually just going to add another tag to that for hashtag INLEO. So technically, you could use any of those three, and it will get included in the in the back end of obviously like the rewards pool for the Leo token. So you'll be able to do hashtag Leo, hashtag Leo Finance, or hashtag INLEO. I think we should all kind of start to use hashtag INLEO to get people more familiar with it. And then the UI right now, the UI defaults to hashtag Leo and hashtag Leo Finance. That's going to change from defaulting to hashtag Leo and hashtag INLEO. But we still will probably keep the Leo Finance tag around for the foreseeable future. Maybe in a few months we'll start to kind of wind that back. We mentioned that the Leo Finance community, so the Leo Finance Hive community, isn't going anywhere. So when you want to post your crypto and finance content, that's still the community to post it to. So we'll probably flip that tag, and rather than have it auto include, it'll be more of a community feature of the UI. Because that's the parent brand has been changed to INLEO, but Leo Finance is still a key part of the brand in terms of the community. So yeah, so good question though. You can use any of the three tags and it'll get included for the foreseeable future, but maybe start phasing into, instead of defaulting to Leo Finance, start thinking about using hashtag INLEO. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks, Eric, for organizing all this. As you are the resident X Spaces expert, the expert. Yeah, we I think it was a pretty successful rebrand. Like I said, a few times, we're taking it in phases. So right now the whole UI has been changed to the new branding. The hashtag stuff is going to get changed, like I said, pretty soon. And then the domain is already live. So if you go to inleo.io, you'll see the new domain name. And then the next kind of phase will be redirecting everyone from leofinance.io to inleo.io. Obviously that'll all happen, automatically. So outside of that, we've got, I've got that, high level vision plan that's going to get posted. Kind of like the introducing INLEO post is going to get up. If you guys want to follow, there's a new Hive account for INLEO, so you can follow it at INLEO on Hive. Me and Eric still have to talk about how we're going to go forward with announcements and stuff like that from the @Leo Finance account. Obviously, we're still going to keep that account active. In the leased form, we're still going to keep it active for the community. So for the Hive community for Leo Finance, because that's not going anywhere. So in its smallest form, it'll be active in that way. Obviously the witness is still active under that username. So that's not going anywhere, but you can follow the new Hive account as well, just to kind of keep up if in case we start posting stuff from there. Outside of that, yeah, just keep your eyes open for different posts. Maybe make your own Hive posts about the new brand. Start spreading the word on Hive and outside of Hive about it. I would say this rebrand went even smoother than expected. When you change the name of something, like I keep saying, that's been around for a few years, it's kind of hard, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong. So I'm happy to see, how smooth it's been so far. I think Eric's lined up a bunch of X spaces that I'm going to be on throughout the week. And both of us will be there to kind of talk about the new brand and make some splash in the SocialFi arena as we kind of get out into the world with the polished product that we've been building and we continue to polish. So look out for new updates, look out for the new domain name, make some posts, talk about it. And then if you ever see me or Eric on various X spaces, jump in, show us some love in there. We'll be pushing out this rebrand really hard. So October is going to be a huge grind month for us. So I'm excited to see where things take us. Sweet. Yeah, I'll probably jump in there with you. So if you guys want to jump over, that's what we're going to be. That's going to be the name of the game throughout October, is going to be X spaces. We're going to be making some big noise out there in a bunch of different spaces. So try to keep up with us if you can. But other than that, thanks everybody for coming. I hope you like the new brand. We've got a big question I saw a few times was asking for brand kits. That's going to be another thing that we post. So look out for that. We'll post a bunch of different brand images and hex color codes that you guys can use. So keep your eyes open for stuff like that. To start putting the branding into your posts. Yep. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, everybody. Yep. We'll see you in Leo. We'll see you at the first ever INLEO AMA tomorrow, noon Eastern. Catch you guys there.